Oh, but I'm tired. Yeah, I know you're tired. But the greatest things in this world were built by men who were tired. This is one that came to me the other day from Andy Frisella, and it resonates with me quite deeply, as you can imagine. And today, more than many days, this one's potentially just a pep talk to myself, to remind myself of this fact. Because, well, today, I'm fucking tired. Today, I would love to go home and just call it quits for today. Just that be that and move the fuck on with my life. But that's not the story I'm trying to tell. That's not the legacy I'm trying to leave. That when I'm tired or when I am sore or when things are hard, I just say, you know what, fuck it, and call it quits for the day. That is not the man I'm trying to be. And it's one that isn't easy on many days. And to be honest, part of chasing greatness is designed around that fact. It is designed to build, well, that resilience, that ability to just continue moving forward, that ability to just keep showing up, no matter how you feel. And so, I have experience just pushing through when I'm tired. I do find it, at this stage of the game, much harder when that's around, work that I don't want to do. I've now built the habit of exercise and nutrition so deeply ingrained that one is relatively straightforward. That one is I can overcome because, well, I'm used to overcoming that. Spent nearly an entire year building to that capacity. But there is work that I have to go home tonight and I don't want to do. Don't want a fucking bar of it. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't excite me. None of those things. But that's irrelevant. That is an irrelevant statement. Because the work is required. And the work is the work. So I have to go home and I have to get that shit done. I have to find another gear. And to be honest, I'll probably just rely on some old classics on that one, like the 5-minute rule, and I'll just sit and I'll start and I'll see where I go from there. And usually 99 times out of 100, once I actually sit down in the chair and go, well, work's getting done, and I'll start the work, lo and behold, the rest just flows from there. Lo and behold, things just get easier and simpler from there. And that's what I'm planning to use. But yeah, when you undertake things like this, there are going to be days where you're exhausted. Maybe not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It might just take its fucking toll on you. And at the moment, most of it is down to physiological. I have not slept well for like 6 weeks, maybe more. And it just seems to be a phase that's transpiring for me right now. And there doesn't appear to be much I can do about it. But the work is the work, and the work must continue. The work doesn't give two shits about my sleep schedule. Work doesn't care if my son wakes me up at 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or all of the above. The work is still required. And for a lot of men, you put your family on your back. You are the provider. You are the one who is going to be there to provide for them. And so there is no other way. The work just has to get done. End of story. And that's where I'm at with this. The work must get done today because, well, there's nobody else to do it. If I call in sick or I don't feel like it or anything along those lines, that slack doesn't get picked up by anybody else. And a lot of the times when I talk about chasing greatness, I talk about preparing for the game of life. That's what we're training for here. That's what we're preparing for. To be the best version of yourself. To train so hard that the game is easy. So that when you arise to situations like this, as I said, I've been practicing for this. I've been doing the work. I've been putting in the reps. I've been training for this when, the body and the mind aren't willing. Where everything is screaming at me to, take it easy. Take a day off. But how quickly can letting that happen slide into another day and another day and another day? How quickly can all of that, it's just one day, turn into just 1 week, turn into just 1 month, then it's your fucking life. And you look back and you go, that one decision led to all of this. And I know that seems hyperbolic, but I've seen it happen. We were talking the other day about, it's not like you had one extra dessert and suddenly you're 30 kilos overweight. No, that happened inch by inch by inch by inch. It happened in a slow encroach into your world. It happened by one small decision, one poor choice, and then another small poor choice, and another small poor choice, and over and over and over and over again. And suddenly you're looking at the man in the mirror going, how the fuck did I get here? And I'm not going to lie, especially since this, insomnia and everything that has hit me, it's been encroaching that way. More and more, I'm like, how the fuck did I let myself get here? How did I get to the point where going home to do work was such a gigantic chore that I'm literally battling myself? I'm mentally having, battle to the death to figure out if I'm actually going to go home and do the work. And yet, there's a part of me from doing this work that he gets louder and louder and louder. That's like, I don't give a fuck what you think's happening. This is what's transpiring. And it's that voice that we need to fuel. It's that voice that we need to prop up. It's the old saying, which wolf is the dominant wolf? Well, the one that you feed. So if you feed negativity, if you feed sedation, if you feed doubt, if you feed delay, if you feed kicking it down the line, if you feed any of those things, that's the one that dominates your life. That's the one that runs everything for you and is the description of your life. Or if you made the hard decisions, if you delay it, if you delay the instant gratification, if you keep making the right choices, no matter how you feel, that's how you keep stepping towards greatness. That's how you keep building this life. That's how you keep building the legacy of you as a man of your word. Because you just keep showing the fuck up. And that's honestly the answer. That's honestly how you get there. Is you just keep showing up. You keep doing the work regardless of your feelings. And building that skill is hands down, the greatest skill that you could ever give yourself. Is the ability to just show up, no matter how you feel, no matter what your feelings say, no matter what's going on, because you said it would be done. End of story. You said the work would be done, therefore the work is getting done. Nothing else matters beyond that point. Nothing else matters beyond you keeping your word. It's like the Kobe Bryant saying, the plan was made. You can't change the plan now. You just must execute. You must show up and execute. Those of weak minds want to change the plan as feelings and emotions arise. No, you do the work because the work needs to get done. And there are no other options. It was like we were talking about the other day, that the more wiggle room you give yourself, the more opportunity you give for leeway and other decisions to arise, the more likely you are to bail on the things you said. The more willpower you have to utilize to get shit done. Whereas if you just go, this is what's happening, end of story, and then you do it, well, now life's fucking easy. Now it's really straightforward. Because, well, you said it had to be done. Now it's getting done. There is no ifs or buts about it. You know, there's no other option. It's why there are no days off. There is no wiggle room in the nutrition. There is no wiggle room in the workouts. There's no wiggle room in any of it. Because if you give yourself wiggle rooms and options, you then have to battle it. You have to instill willpower and use that finite resource to get that shit across the line. Or you can remove a lot of the choices out of the fact and just make it a done deal. There are no other options. That you were just doing this. You gave your word, therefore it's done. And I think that's how you build this rock solid discipline and mentality. And look, over time, as I said, once you develop that skill, maybe you can then splash out and allow more options and more variables on that because you've ingrained that habit deep enough. But I would counsel you to make sure that that is a worthwhile use of your willpower and your discipline. Because, well, that willpower is finite. It's why it's really easy to start in the morning. And then by the end of the day, that's when you're breaking. That's when you're craving. That's when you're caving in. Because you've used up all your willpower. You're tired, you're exhausted, all those kinds of things. That's why when you have a bad night's sleep, it requires so much more willpower, determination, grit to continue on to do those things because you're lacking energy. So your body's like, I don't have it in me to do this. I don't have it in me to find the level that needs to be found to get this shit done. So you must protect your willpower. You must make sure that it's utilized on, well, the things that matter. The things that really are going to matter that need to be utilized correctly. Because, well, it's a finite resource, and if you don't use it properly, well, it'll dissipate. That's why I'd recommend when you're building out these habits that you limit your exposure to things that are going to tempt you. Don't have the food in the house. Try and limit being around people who aren't going to respect your decision on this. Try and limit the opportunities for that temptation to be placed in front of you. Because you're testing your willpower every single day. You don't need extra temptation while you build this into a habit. Once it's ingrained, once it becomes who you are, then have at it. Then you can see how well that habit has been formed. But up until that point, I would strongly recommend that you limit it. And on the other side of it, I would encourage you to get around people who are going to have your back, that you can turn to when these situations arise and be like, this is where it is, and they'll support you and they'll uplift you, and they're on the same fucking journey you are. You want people in your corner who understand what you're going through. You want people in your corner who are going to do the work like you're doing the work, who are going to understand the struggles as you push forward with it. You want people who are going to lift you up rather than pull you down. We've discussed many times before. It is heartbreaking how frequently the people who are going to sabotage you the most are the people who are closest to you, are the people who you consider part of your inner sanctum. They're usually the ones who sabotage you because you hold up a mirror to them. You hold up this mirror and shine a beacon down on them of what is possible and that they're choosing not to. Because up until that point, especially if you're similar, same friends, same general lifestyle, all that kind of stuff, they can give these excuses as to why it can't happen, why they're not doing it, why it's not getting done. But at the end of it all, if you then start doing it, if you rise from those ashes, if you rise from the same community, same friends group, the same area, the same conditions, the same level of opportunity, and you do the shit that they say is impossible, well, fuck, you just made them a liar. So they'll try and sabotage you. They'll try and bring you down. And sometimes it's not even conscious. I think oftentimes they're the worst ones. That people don't consciously try and sabotage you. I often see this with partners and family, that they'll sabotage you, but not in the deliberate, hey, fuck you kind of way that we're just talking about, but in the, hey, let me support you. You're doing a fantastic job. Here, have some cake. You're doing awesome. I got your favorite ice cream. Hey, you're killing it. Here's your favorite chocolate. These kinds of things that derail you, that pull you off. And it comes from a place of love, but they don't understand what that's doing to you. So you have to be strong. You have to build discipline. And you have to set boundaries around this, because this isn't your average thing. This isn't just see where you end up. This is, you're trying to be great. You're trying to be the greatest version of yourself possible. So fucking do that. It's gonna require breaking a few eggs. It's gonna require you getting out there and making people uncomfortable. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your discipline should make others feel uncomfortable. But it means that you can no longer fit in with the average. And don't worry, if your friends and family and your partner are truly there for you and truly love and adore you, they'll get on board. They will. And most of the time they'll join in with you because you will have inspired the action of it. But you can't let the choices of others dictate how you're going to live your life. You can't let the choices of others prevent you from chasing your own greatness. Because you are called for more. You are called to be more, do more, and live a better life. But you can't do that while you're still stuck in the past. You can't do that while you're still trying to please everybody else. Because you will upset people because they like the version of you that does the things that they like doing. So when you stop people pleasing and you start choosing you over those things, you are gonna upset people. You are gonna rock the boat. And that's okay. But you have to keep moving forward. And that's why you need people in your corner who are gonna understand what you're doing. It's why you need people in your corner who are gonna uplift you and who are gonna have been through what you've been through. Because this is a damn hard, monumental task to take on your own. So you need accountability, you need support, you need guidance. Because at least initially, I don't think it's going to come from your friends and family, because they are not going to understand the changes that you are trying to make in this life. So if you're ready for that, if you're ready to start chasing your greatness, if you're ready to start doing the work regardless of your feelings and see who that man is, the man who listens to greatness, the man who builds great things even when he's tired, shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness. Let's start with the physical component and start training the way we want to play. Start training so that the game of life is easy. shoot me a message and let's begin that journey. Now, if you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, as always, if you enjoyed this, if it spoke to you, if you found something of value in it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button. The majority of people who are watching these are not subscribed. And it is my promise to you that I will be here every single day. Like everything in Chasing Greatness, I will be here every day. Rain, hail, or shine, no matter what, getting this done. I don't want you to miss a single episode of this. So please hit that subscribe button because I'll be back again tomorrow. I can't wait to see you then.